Hello, welcome back. Or should I even say welcome? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if anyone's welcome right now. Because wow, wow. Um, it's almost a shame I didn't continue for 3 hours longer after the game. Because wow, wow. That is just my immediate reaction, and I'm sure that most of you feel the same way. That was a joke. An utter fucking joke. Started fine. Controlled the game. We weren't creating, but we knew that. We saw that 11. We knew we would not create. But still, we controlled the game. Had 2 goals from a corner for once. Even if it's just because they defended poorly, but still you scored it, right? We were 2 goals up. Everything was fine and dandy. First half comes to an end. Think a bit lethargic that first half. But oh well, doesn't matter, you're winning 2-0. Second half comes in. And now you see the measure of a manager. Now you see what can a manager change. What can a manager do. I will hear none of this Man City have poor substitute. They had Calvert-Lewin. And Jaka Bayol on their bench. That is who they put on. Jaka Bayol and Calvert-Lewin. That is who changed the game for Leeds. I don't want to hear any of this. We have a poor bench. Jaka Bayol, Calvert-Lewin. That changed the game in Leeds' favor. Pep Guardiola? Nowhere to be seen. He's missing. Kidnapping ensued. We have players like Ryan Cherki on the bench. Omar Marmoush on the bench. Abdulkadir Husnov. Ryan Aitnouri. I'm not having this. We don't have good players. We do. We do have good bench players. Our bench is as good as their starting 11. That is how good our bench is. In fact, with Omar Marmoush on the bench, with Ryan Cherki on the bench, that is a ridiculous bench. Compare that to their 11. But we struggled. We struggled. From the start of the second half to the end of it. It was a joke. Midfield, physically overpowered. Again, it happened against Newcastle. Okay, it's a one-off. No, this is 2 Premier League games in a row. I don't care about Champions League, it's a different sport. 2 Premier League games in a row where our midfield was completely overpowered. By Leeds. Leeds United. The mighty Leeds. They have not been in the Premier League since the treble season when they got relegated. I believe we beat them 7-0 the season before that. This is at home. We're playing at home against the mighty Leeds. 10 of our 11 starters were rested. And you know what? Our worst player was not the player who was unrested. Gonzalez was our best midfielder, not our worst. So 10 of our players were rested. And the one who wasn't rested was our best player, Bart, the man I'll talk about later. But he played on the wing, so not a midfielder. That's a joke. I'm sorry, that's a joke. I said that Bernardo Silva should start this game. I'm not going to pretend I didn't say that. I said Bernardo Silva should start this game. But I also said you need to have a creative player there. We didn't. Okay, Tijani Reinders started. I suppose this is the moment for Tijani to show that he's like De Bruyne, because that's what he said when he came here. Where was he? Not on the pitch, not that I saw. He was okay in the first half, don't get me wrong. Second half. And it's not just Tijani, by the way, but that's just who I'm going in on. Because you know what, yeah? We benched Ryan Cherky for Tijani Reinders. Really. Really. We did not bench Foden. We did not bench Silva. We did not bench Doku. We benched Cherky for Reinders. Our most creative player. For a man who, no offense to him, I think he's a good player. I think he's played better than most people give him credit for. But for a man who is, with all his talents, not a creator. He's not a creator. It's not his skill set. That's fine. You don't need to be a creator. Is Rodri a creator? No. Was Gundogan a creator? No. They don't have to be. But you don't bench your only true creator for someone who is not a creator. That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Then you look at Silva. Again, I said he should have started. I did not say he needed to play 89 minutes. When it was halftime, Farke, I think that's how you say his name, Daniel Farke, I believe, went into the dressing room, realized what went wrong, looked at his bench, saw Beal, Calvert-Lewin, and said, you know what, I've got an idea. He said, I've got an idea. And you know what his idea was? Just run. Just run. And it worked. Sometimes it can be that simple. Calvert-Lewin was doing mad bits, by the way, that second half. To be fair, Calvert-Lewin has always been a good player, but still, this is 2025. Come on. How old is Calvert-Lewin now? He's ought to be 33, 34. He's 28. Damn. Yucks, he's aged badly. No offense to Calvert-Lewin if you're watching this, but you aged poorly. Big up to Pro Football that's watching my streams, by the way. But no. Yikes. That's just yikes. This is our defense, yeah? 3 centre backs were on Erling Haaland. 3 centre backs on Erling Haaland. In other words, we were playing 10 against 8. And we lost. We lost to 10 against 8. How? How are you struggling 10 against 8? That does not make sense to me. People don't understand when Erling Haaland does not touch the ball once because there's 3 centre backs on him. That should be a 5-0, 7-0, 8-0 win for Man City. That's how big of a win you should be getting. When you sacrifice half your defense to mark out one player, you should be dead. And that is what happened in the treble season. 2 centre backs on Haaland, you're dead. You take out one player but lose 2. Dead against your old Man City. Kevin De Bruyne was going to score. Gundogan was going to score. Maris was going to score. Silva was going to score. All these players, Alvarez, if he was on the pitch, was going to score. You cannot mark out Haaland. Because by putting 2 or 3 men on Haaland, you're killing yourself. You're literally just killing yourself. But now, when you put 2 or 3 players on Haaland, well, do as you please. Do as you please. We used to pose an ultimatum to teams. Would you rather concede 3 goals from 2 of our midfielders and 1 of our wingers, or would you rather concede 3 goals from Erling Haaland? That was the ultimatum. Now, the ultimatum is, would you rather watch us miss 50 chances and create fuck all, or would you rather concede 2 Haaland goals? And the easy answer is, watch you miss fuck all chances and watch you create fuck all. This is... When you have a really good striker, the best way to make sure that striker gets goals is make sure that marking him out of a game is suicide. We do not see that. We do not see that. And you know why we do not see that? Omar Marmoush is not on the pitch. Ryan Cherky is not on the pitch. These are the guys, yeah? Ryan Cherky on the pitch. Oh, you don't mark Ryan Cherky. Oh, you're dead. You're dead. The moment Ryan Cherky came on, we played better. Why? Because they had to go from 3 players to 2 players on Haaland. Which meant immediately we were getting in behind easy. And then we went from 2 we brought on Omar Marmoush. Immediately better again. Why? Why are we immediately better? Because they have to take another player off Haaland. You can't keep marking Haaland. Because if you put 3 players on Haaland and Omar Marmoush gets the ball, he scored 27 goals last season. Are you gonna put 3 men on Haaland when someone who scores 27 goals a season is running around? No, you're not. But here's the problem. We had Bernardo Silva on the pitch all game. Until the 89th minute. So you're gonna put 3 men on Haaland. And you're gonna rest back, head back, score. That's what you're gonna do. Haaland had 1 chance that game. If we're gonna be so dependent on Haaland as we are, he needs more than 1 chance. It wasn't even a good cross, if I'm being honest. It was an okay cross. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't even a good cross. That was his only chance. That is not fine. By any means, any metric, whatever you use, that is not fine. And I'm not even talking about the defense yet. Oh, there, I'll get to the defense. But you look at that, the way we just don't ask questions. This is the thing, you need to ask questions. Mistakes don't happen in a vacuum. If you put a professional footballer on his own in the middle of a pitch and you give him the ball and you say, walk around the pitch, he will never make a wrong touch, he will never pass the ball to... He will not do any of that. You need to force the mistake, you need to pose questions. What questions is Man City asking? Can you put 5 players on Haaland and stop him from scoring? That is our question. The answer, yes. Now, maybe we should ask onto that question. Can you stop the rest of our team from scoring when you've got 3, 5, whatever the fuck players on Haaland? Right now, the answer is, yeah. Quite easily. Actually, we don't have to stop them from scoring. They stop themselves. They can't do it. That's sport. Once again, that is sport. And I don't mean to slack the goals of defenders. Defenders say the goals matter. But you cannot rely on the goals of a defender. Josko Gvardiol. His goal. Without it, it's a draw. I like a goal from a corner once. It's okay to depend on a set piece once in a while. But that is not what... Against Leeds? If this was against Arsenal, or not even Arsenal, but like Aston Villa or Newcastle. Okay. You get by because of a defender scoring, a bit lucky in a set piece. Okay. That's fine. But this is not Aston Villa. This is not Chelsea. This is not whoever. This is Leeds. We can't be relying on defender-style goals, which is gonna happen 2 or 3 times in a season if you're lucky, to win these games. Can't be relying on that. And then let's actually talk about the defense. Diaz. I like to defend Ruben Diaz, because I think he's overhated. He was ghosting for quite a bit of that game. I think first half he played very well. I think first half Diaz was winning the ball up the pitch, kept us going. Diaz did not get a single opportunity this game to show his talent inside the box. But you know what we saw a lot? Diaz, his lack of ability between the lines. And what do I mean between the lines? I mean between the end of the goalkeeper's area and the halfway line. That area, Diaz sorely lacks. And we notice. We have known this for so long, but Diaz is so good in the box and at the halfway line, it does not even matter. As long as you can get a right back there, you can cover. Matheus Nunes. I like Matheus Nunes. I'm not talking shit about Matheus Nunes. It is fine to use Matheus Nunes once in a while, or as a backup, or as a right winger. This is okay. But I've been saying this for a long time. Matheus Nunes will never be a true right back. He'll never be that. And that's okay. That's not who he is. He can do a job on right back if we need it. He can play right wing. We can use him for this. But right back? No. He will never be that. And this game, we saw that once again. People laughed at me when I said I want Matty Cash. When I said I want Matty Cash in the summer, I was getting cooked. Oh, Matty Cash is finished. Matty Cash is not good. Oh, England stacks, yada yada. Imagine if we had Matty Cash this game. Does he make the mistake that leads to the first goal that Matheus Nunes made? Does he make that mistake? No, he doesn't. But quite simply, he does not make that mistake. What happened here? First of all, Nunes poor passing out from the back. Matty Cash isn't doing that. He's more composed when he's in the back half. Second of all, Guardiola incredible defending to win back that ball. Matheus Nunes sprints off, road runner, takes the ball out of Josko's feet. After Josko won it back because Nunes made a mistake. And then he runs straight into Calvert-Lewin. And he's licking his lips, bro. Oh. I got the easiest goal of my fucking life, mate. And guess what? It was the easiest goal of his fucking life. There was nothing Donnarumma could have done about it. Nothing. From that distance, you in the bottom, no, you're dead. As a goalkeeper, you're done. All you can hope for is make yourself big. Hopefully he shoots at you or he misses. But that was a good finish by Calvert-Lewin. It's a good finisher. No goalkeeper could have done anything about that. So I see people slandering Donnarumma already. You're quite frankly stupid if you blame Donnarumma for anything in this game. And I'm sorry to say it. I don't like calling people stupid, but sometimes you have to call out idiots. Donnarumma is not going to stop a perfectly placed one-on-one. No single goalkeeper in the history of football has stopped a perfectly placed one-on-one. It doesn't exist. Lev Yashin didn't do it, Michel Prudhomme didn't do it, Thibaut Courtois didn't do it, Iker Casillas didn't do it, Buffon didn't do it, Neuer didn't do it, no one's done it. It's impossible to stop that. If you're complaining about Donnarumma because he did not stop a penalty, and because he conceded a goal, which it was never going to stop anyhow, that's ridiculous. No two ways about it. That is ridiculous. We should not be conceding chances like this. The penalty, by the way. I almost forgot about the penalty until I was ranting about Donnarumma. What the fuck? Guardiola played such a good game, by the way. Not just winning the ball back when Nunes was having a bozo. Sprinting back from the halfway line, coming down the left to win the ball back, I think against James in the first. He was everywhere in that defense. He was winning the ball. He was getting us up the pitch. He was passing well. He was moving forward. He was running down the left. He was passing the ball into Haaland. He was doing everything. I thought I was watching Pirlo for a moment. But then, good things must come to an end. Unfortunately, the good thing was not this game. Although that too did come to an end. The performance of Josko Gvardiol, which was easily man of the match performance before that penalty, was utterly undone by that ridiculous challenge. This is why experience matters. As good as Josko Gvardiol is, and no, I will never bench Josko Gvardiol, that's ridiculous, I will never do that. Experienced players don't make those mistakes. This is why experience matters. When you put someone under pressure for that long, the talent When you're under pressure for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, that's where you see the talent. When you're under pressure for 45 minutes, that's where you see experience. When people laugh at me for saying I want Jared Bowen, I want Matty Cash, I want Gibbs White, these are experienced players. Jared Bowen, by the way, who has got 1 goal every 4 games so far this season with a sinking West Ham team. He got 1 goal every 2 games last season. Experience. Don't make those mistakes in those moments because you've been there, you've done it. You've made those mistakes already, so you don't make them again. I cannot slant Josko Gvardiol for that mistake. I can't slant him for it. Because it's a mistake he made from inexperience. And that's an experience that he's now got experience in, and he won't make that mistake again. I know that. But this is why experience matters. Not against Leeds. Not in the optimal world. Jesus Christ, I'm talking like we played against Real Madrid. We played Leeds, by the way. Newly promoted Leeds. Oh my god, we are washed. But these types of moments is where experience matters, when you're under pressure for so long. Okay, Gvardiol played a really good game. Silly mistake. He should not have been in that position to begin with. I'll hold it against Gvardiol, but I'll also let it pass a bit. You know what I mean. I'll hold it against his performance, but I'll let it slip. Because he was our best defender, and he scored a goal. Well, if you count it, if you care. And he played really good. Even though it was that moment. I can't excuse Matheus Nunes. I can't excuse Silva. And there's Doku, by the way. I think Doku was okay. I see people slandering Doku. Listen, I am Doku's biggest hater. Go back to go back to earlier this season. I was killing Doku every game. This is not a bad game by Doku. But for the people who slandered Doku, I get it, he's been shit in the past. Wasn't shit today, though. Why are we killing Doku? What did he do wrong? He created 2 chances. Weren't good chances, but he created those chances. I think he created 1 good chance. Still, he created those chances. He ran up the pitch. Didn't lose the ball too much. He lost the ball a few times, but not too much. He came back, defended. Wasn't great. Wasn't... he wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just fine. If everyone played like Doku, if everyone put in a 7 out of 10 performance like Doku did, we would have won 5-0. The problem was not Doku, who played okay. The problem was not Foden, who played forward but got 2 goals, so you let it fly. The problem was not Gvardiol, who played really good but made a stupid mistake. The problem was Bernardo Silva. Done nothing. Tijani Reinders, good first half, absent second half. Nunes, just bozo galore. Diaz, utterly exposed. That's where the problem lies. Not in Doku, who played okay. Maybe you want him to play better, sure. But that was not the problem today. And people pretending that was the problem today, I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. Take it from me. I have killed Doku in the past on my channel. You can go back to old videos of my channel, old streams, Belgian watch-alongs, because of course I am Belgian. You see, I have killed Doku in the past. I'll see so many people now killing Doku again. He did not even set a foot wrong. And I've not even talked about substitutions yet, but if I talk about that, we're gonna be here until next season. So let's not even get into that. Big up Vasco. Man, sorry to be AFK from your life. No worries about it, Vasco. You're in here all the time. Big up, man. Big up. Understandably, you were pissed. Yeah, understandably. Of course you were. Yeah. No. It's completely fair to be pissed off, I think. That was... What can I say? I was pissed off too. I mean, to put it simply, I'm still pissed off. Hello, big up to him. Everton got smashed by Newcastle. I guess Newcastle is coming back to life now. Zulte Waregem 1-0 against Cercle Bruges. Not a good day for my uncle. A season ticket holder at Zulte, those who don't know. Not a good day for him. When will Erling Haaland get his 100th Premier League goal? Next season at this. This was one of those games where you think, yeah, you should have gotten that 100th goal today. But it is not Haaland's fault. It's not Haaland's fault that you can mark him out of a game completely and the rest of our players do not smash you. When you put 3 players on Haaland, you should get smashed, torn apart, ripped to shreds, passed from left to right, up and down, north and south, all over, and concede 20 odd fucking goals. That is what we did in the treble. Or you try to mark out Haaland. Well, we've got a story for you. It's called Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Rodri. That is our story when you try to mark out Haaland. What is our story now? Not quite sure. We had Foden back then as well, by the way. Now we have Foden, who rescued us. Just saying. Utter woke nonsense. It was a disgrace. Simple as that. Pep should be worried. We should all be worried. Let's be honest. That was a worrying performance. If you're not worried, I'm not gonna slander you if you're not worried. I get it. We won the game at the end of the day. But if you're not worried, why are you not worried? Why do you not think that this will continue? It's fair. It's fair if you think that. Football is about opinions. But tell me why. Give me a logical reason why. Because... well... and don't be shameless. Don't be shameless about it. Have some shame. I think shame can be a good thing for everyone. Phil Foden. True. Without Foden, we would have been dead. We would have been dead in a ditch. Donnarumma saved his first penalty as a Man City player, but they got lucky from a rebound. I won't call it luck, per se. Sometimes as a goalkeeper, you have to do better to push the ball away. But I can't slander Donnarumma for saving a penalty and still conceding. I can't slander him for that. So, yeah, a bit unlucky. Maybe Donnarumma should have pushed the ball away, not towards Calvert-Lewin, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Alpha's trying so hard not to fall asleep in the first. Bro, I was moving, during the first half. That was me during that first half, bro. We need Omar Marmoush to get game time. 89 minutes. 89th minutes, guys. Omar is my favorite player at Man City right now. I don't really do a favorite player thing, but 89 minutes, guys. 89th minutes. What are we doing? What are we doing? Omar Marmoush immediately made us better. Omar came on that pitch, we had double the space. Why? Because we had double the goal scorers, which means you need to mark someone or you're dead. It's so silly. I could not explain to you. I could better to you explain the laws of thermodynamics than I could explain why Omar Marmoush is on the bench until the 89th minute. 27 goals last season. I think 17 assists if I'm not mistaken. 40 plus GA. 40 plus goals and assists last season. On the bench. I cannot explain this. No one can explain this. No NASA scientist could explain this. I don't think Pep Guardiola could explain this to you. I don't think Pep Guardiola knows why he does this. Maybe he has a fucking roulette, which decides when do I take off Bernardo Silva. And we've just all been unlucky because it keeps landing on like 89, 86 minutes. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's just got that fucking roulette going. I don't know. But it's stupid. It's that simple. It's really, really stupid. He should be playing these games. A small side note, but we've got a Spursy. Eddie Wilson. Eddie fucking Wilson and Kenny Tete. Oh my days. At least we're not that one. We've got a Spursy, guys. We've got a Spursy. Hey, when you suffered, take a moment to laugh at another's misery. Cheers. Tomorrow, Bruges, watch long. Yes. Goal Fulham again. Yeah. Tomorrow, words, Ben 10. He's injured, isn't he? I think he's injured. This defense cost us so many points from last season till now. Yeah. I mean, what more can I say to that? Yeah. But let's not pretend our defense is the only worrying part here. Just not clicking together. The game management. Game management. When you are up 2-0, but you're getting peppered. Your opponent made 2 substitutions and the game's completely different. You need to make the changes. Our midfield, so weak. We were getting overpowered. And Pep Guardiola was on the bench, smoking his Zaza. I think, big up to Ricardo, but please stop giving Pep your reads. I know you've got a lot of good reads, Ricardo. I don't know if you're in chat right now, but stop giving it to Pep. That man does not need your reads right now. He needs to be sober. This man is on the bench, and he's fucking all kinds of... You know what I mean? He's not there, bro. He's not managing the game. Ever since 5 substitutions has been the rule of football, Pep's influence in football has waned. When it was first added, it was the treble season. And in the treble season, nobody knew how to correctly use 5 substitutions. Pep won the treble. Next season, Pep Guardiola was questioned incredibly often. Again, one season had passed, everyone learned a little bit how to use those 5 substitutions. They learned how to do it. Last season, managers were mastering how to use 5 substitutions in football. Now, managers know it. Managers are able to do it. Managers use 5 substitutions optimally. There's been enough time to pass, there's been enough data, and the way the rules of a sport work changes the way that a sport is played. It's managed. And Pep is not adapting to this 5 substitution rule. People tell me, oh, but we have on the bench 4 players. We have Ryan Aït-Nouri. This is a better player than anything Leeds have starting 11 bench whatever. Aït-Nouri, Cherki, Marmoush, Gustinov, Stones, who ended up coming on, who played quite alright. This is better than anything their starting 11 has. They changed the game with Calvert-Lewin and Bayol. We cannot be using, oh, but our bench is poor as an excuse. How can you know your bench is poor if you don't use your bench? What's the science here? 4th substitution in the 75th minute. And we were already getting killed. I think it was already 2-2 at that point. Yeah, it was. Nemesha penalty in 68 minutes. You need to make these substitutions when you're getting bammed, not when you're losing. Or when you're drawn already from a winning position. Then it's too late. Then it is too late. That is not game management. What Pep did today is not game management. It's watching a game go by you. Omar Marmoush, 89th minute. You're telling me Omar Marmoush could have not come on in the 60th minute. You're telling me Omar Marmoush could have not come on after Calvert-Lewin's goal. You're telling me that. I don't believe you. I believe our bench would beat Leeds United starting 11. So when Leeds United make the changes, change the game, we should be going to our bench and fixing up and killing them. We need to be rude. We want to hurt our opponents. You should want to hurt your opponent. When Bayern München play, they want their opponents to cry. 3-0 is not enough, they want 4-0. When we play football, yeah. Having a nice stroll, are you? Hey, Bernardo, pick up the... yeah, Bernardo's got the ball. I'm gonna go talk to Josko now. I'm gonna take 20 touches. Hey, Josko, how you doing? Hey, nice beard you've got. I can't grow a beard like that, but damn, you've got a beard. What are we doing? What are we doing? Someone's gonna have to explain the maths to me of how all of this clicks together. Because I don't see it. I don't see how it makes sense to make a substitution in the 89th minutes. Your best goal scorer other than Erling Haaland, 89th minutes when you need a goal. From the 50th minute, we've needed a goal. And we waited to the 89th. And we ended up being very, very, very lucky. We can count our lucky starts that Phil Walter Foden scored that absolute stunning goal. But he's not scoring that every game. If you think he's scoring that goal every game and you want to rely on that, I've got shocking news for you. That's a recipe for disaster. Walter Foden can do that. Once in a while, Foden will do that for you. Because he's that good of a player. He will just show up, take the ball and say, fuck it, I'm him, and he'll do it. Can't do it every time. Should not be relying on that against Leeds United at home when you were winning 2-0. That is ridiculous. I definitely think we should go all in for Mark Guehi. We can't rely on the likes of Ruben Diaz or Gvardiol anymore. We need a world-class defender. Mark Guehi is not the likes of either of them. The problem is not our centre-backs. Josko Gvardiol played an incredible game. But he's inexperienced. You put inexperienced players under pressure for 45 minutes, they'll crack. Experienced players won't do that. Guehi is not experienced. Guehi would not play as well as Gvardiol to begin with, and he will then make the same mistake as Gvardiol, because he's also inexperienced and he'll crack at some point. Ruben Diaz is our experienced player. Between the lines, which is to say between the 16-yard box of the goalkeeper and between the halfway line, Ruben Diaz awful. But on the opposition half and in our own box, he's the best centre back in, if not world football, at the very least in the Premier League. Mark Guehi is not matching that. He can match, he can exceed between the lines for Ruben Diaz, but he's not matching in the box or on the halfway line. He's not doing that. He's just nowhere near that. Mark Guehi is not fixing this. You know what's fixing this? A right back who can cover for Ruben Diaz between the lines where he's so poor. A proper right back, and I'll get to that again later. And a midfield not getting overrun and putting so much pressure on our back line. Because when you play in a high line, one chance conceded is like conceding 3 chances in a low block. Because the chances you concede from a high line are so much higher in value than the chances you concede if you play in a deep block. You cannot concede that often when you play a high line. You just can't. And we did. I do not blame either of our centre backs. I blame Nunez, who played an incredibly poor game. I blame Pep, who did not do anything to fix it. I blame the midfield, who was overrun for 45 minutes long in that second half. Hello, big up to Manchester is blue. Or Manchester blue, even. Big up, Alf. It's been a while, by the way, since I've seen you. I think you're from Martin's chat, if I'm not mistaken. Big up. You are wrong, Alf. I'm Doku's biggest hater. Fulham are actually good. Silva, and you wanted him to start. Yeah, but it's a thing. Silva, I wanted them to start, sure. But I wanted them to start with a creative player. We did not have a creator on the pitch. And I've already gone over this. We needed a creator on the pitch. We didn't. What's Silva gonna do on a pitch without a creator? When I was in my in my preview, I said Bernardo Silva gets you the ball into the creators. I said that in my preview. So Bernardo Silva started, but the creator did not start. So having Bernardo Silva move the ball to the creator, who's not on the pitch, it doesn't work, does it? This was just such a nonsensical decision by Pep. But okay, you make a mistake. Okay, it's fine. You make a mistake. Okay, whatever. Fix it with substitutions. 50th minute, 60th minute. No. Wait until the 89th minute. What? 89th minute? You're telling me Pep could not see that problem in the 50th minute? If he could not see it in the 50th minute, he's blind. If he did see it, but he didn't do anything about it, he's, I don't know, inactive? I don't know what you call it even. Passive? Useless? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But there's something wrong there. If Pep saw that and did nothing about it, or if Pep didn't see it at all. Vitor and Ba are world-class potential, by the way. I agree. But let them have their loans. Let Vitor Hayes and Yuma Ba be on loan. Let them enjoy themselves for a while. So when they come back to Man City, 2 or 3 years older, they come in, boom, experience right off the bat. Boom, you're in. If we did that with Savio, imagine, Savinho, right now on loan to Girona for another 2 years, and we have Jared Bowen instead. Works so much better. And by the time Savinho lands, 3 more years of experience, boom. You've got a player there. You've got someone who can move there. You've got someone who can score. You've got a player there. Yeah? Imagine that. But that is not what we do. No. That is not what we do. No. What we do is a bunch of young players. Again, young players is fine. Inexperience is fine. But put experience with them. When we had Leroy Sané, we had Raheem Sterling, who scored 50 GA a season. We had Riyad Mahrez. We had these players. Okay, Sané was inexperienced. Yes. We had Bernardo Silva playing on the wing. Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez, that was experience there. But when Sané was shy, but when Sané needed time. When Foden first came through, we had David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, Yaya Toure even for a little while. Look at the Fernandinho, look at the players we had when Foden was breaking through. It's okay to have inexperience, but have experience with them. But we don't. We do not. I don't think we will recover from this unless... I don't think we will recover from this useless defensive bozos until we get a real, experienced right back. I'm fully with you there, Rosa. We need experience and a natural player. Oh, we can't get Livramento. Fuck Livramento. Well, don't. That's gay, but... Forget about Livramento. Oh, he's not coming. Whoopity-doo. Go get Matty Cash. Oh, Brian, great Matty Cash. Okay, Matty Cash doesn't oversee that disaster of a game. Oh, Matty Cash isn't world class. Okay. But he's better than what we've got. He's experienced. And if you don't rate Matty Cash, okay, somebody go buy someone better. But right now, we're not getting Livramento in January, I don't think. And if you are, great, you got him. Happy days. But if you don't get him, go get on Matty Cash. Don't turn up your nose. Because when you have Matty Cash, yeah, you've got an improvement. And now, whenever you go buy the improvement upon Matty Cash, you can either sell Cash for profit because he's a Man City player who's won a trophy, presumably, or you can bench Cash and your starter becomes your bench player. Now your bench is as good as once your starting 11 was. But we don't do any of that. What we do is, Mateus Nunes, have fun. Have fun at right back. Good luck. I agree, Abdullah. It's not long term. People who think this, I've said this for constantly. You will never be a right back. And that is not a problem. Play him right wing, let him fall in for our right back when our right back is injured. Sure. But he will never be a right back. He will never be that. You know why? Because he's played 26 years of his career as either a winger or a midfielder. That's why he'll never be a right back. And that's fine. Because Kevin De Bruyne was never going to be a right back either. But did we force Kevin De Bruyne into that role? No. We did not. You have to be sensible with these things. Under a different manager, this City would fucking cook. I don't think we have this City under a different manager. And that's not to defend Pep, but I think that the way I think we have a right back for starters without Pep. Pep is the one who's too picky sometimes with his players. And you can argue there's good to it, but there's also times when you're like, need a right back and we don't have it. And you look right now, Pep could have done so much more in this game. In a lot of games this season, Pep could have done so much more. We didn't. We didn't. That is sad. Quite frankly, that is sad. For a manager who's supposed to be the greatest of all time, that is sad. Tomorrow, Isaac, sinker and hooked. I will be there. I've been saying this defense regressed after the treble. The whole team, Pep, and Pep regressed. I mean, obviously we've regressed since the treble, but it's the treble. I'm not asking to win a treble again. We're probably never going to do it again. Listen, the treble once in a lifetime. If you think we're ever winning the treble again, give up. We are almost certainly never touching a treble again. Savor the memory, remember it, love it, but realize it's a once in a lifetime thing. I'm not asking for treble levels. I'm asking for something sensible. I'm asking to beat Leeds United at home comfortably after being 2-0 up. It's not too much after resting our entire team the previous game. I can't. I just can't. Prediction Anderlecht Union. I'll go 2-2. 2-2. Bertaccini goal. Let's see here. Bertaccini with a goal. I'll go an own goal by Burgess. And I'll go 2 goals from... Let's go exciting. Let's say 2 goals from... What's his name? Galeli. Guardiola is so sloppy. I've been saying this since last season. He wasn't sloppy today, though. Today he was really good. But he was under pressure all game and he cracked. It happens when you're inexperienced. You'll crack. Madrid will have a field day with this shit defense. Well, Madrid is shit on their own, so don't get too excited. Right now, he is. The way Pep's treating him, kinda, yeah. What is the excuse next season when City gets Livramento? Anderson, well, we won't get Semenyo. I think we'll get someone better than Semenyo. But yeah. Listen. There's no excuse for this right now. We spent 400 million. 400 million. There's no excuse. If you spend 400 million and you're struggling, what are you doing? What are you doing? And people will point at Liverpool. Arne Slot is about to get sacked. Arne Slot will not survive past January. If he's not fixed up, he won't survive past January. Am I saying Pep should be sacked then? That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying 400 million spent. And we're seeing this performance. If you'd had a wobble, mate, if you think this is okay. 400 million spent. We have spent in the past year as much money as Leeds in the past 5. And Leeds was the better side and out home. There's no excuse. None. Nada. The bench can't even beat us shit Leverkusen. Leverkusen and I mean, you need to respect Champions League teams. You don't play a bench against Champions League teams. Just don't do that. If you go do that against Skyrock, you get in trouble. Don't play a full bench against Champions League teams. These teams are not in the Champions League by being shit. Yeah, you don't do that against them. Leverkusen is a top 10 team in the Premier League. Club Brugge. PSV, Celtic, maybe not Celtic, Villarreal. These are the top 10 teams in the Premier League. These are not shit teams. You need to respect them. Come on. It's not a thing entirely for Leeds here. Marmoush ain't doing shit. He's washed now. On what basis? When has Marmoush had a chance to do anything? This is silly. Marmoush has not played in his best position once. Last season, Marmoush played as a left winger, tucked in behind either De Bruyne as a false 9 or Haaland. He got all his goals playing that way. Marmoush played one game on the right wing, he did nothing. He played a few games as the lone striker, he did nothing. All Marmoush, his 7 Man City goals, came from left wing inverting. He's not played a full 90 once in that position. Once. Actually, he has. He has against Brighton. And he got an assist. On what basis is Marmoush washed? I think you take off Bernardo Silva at the 50th minute. Bring on Omar Marmoush. Put Marmoush behind Haaland. You've got a very different story here today. That's not what we do. He can't defend a fucking high line. I'm not gonna say he can't do it, but I've not seen him do it. Silva is finito. O'Reilly is a person can take his position. But again, you're throwing another inexperienced player into the fray. He's doing fine on left back. Why throw this inexperienced brat, to put it bluntly, why throw him suddenly into midfield? He's doing fine on left back. Get a real midfielder who's experienced who can do it. Foden was a winger for, I think, 4 or 5 something years. I mean, 2018. Yeah, he was a winger for 6 years before he made his debut as a midfielder for Man City. And even then he played a lot on the wing. Why rush these players into midfield? Let them get experience where they play well and then bring them into midfield. But Silva can't be playing this long. I'm not having a dig at you, by the way, Abdullah. We have a twink midfield. I think I'd dominate them and I'm a girdle. Hey, big up to the girdles. The girdles are gonna dominate. Is that femdom? Is that femdom? Uncomfortable questions. What am I saying? Anyhow. Right, what was I saying? Moving on. We need big midfielders. That's the thing. We need big, muscular, strong midfielders. By the way, do you want him to stay next season? I don't want him. Oh, Silva. No, he has to go. He has to go. I wanted Silva to leave after the 4-beat. I said after the 4-beat, this brother, get him out. Because I said after the 4-beat, this is the last opportunity to get money for Silva. Sell him. If we had sold Silva there and bought Olise, Oh my days, guys. Oh my days. We will be having different conversations. We need someone like Semenyo. Mad, bro. We need someone like Semenyo. But I don't think we'll get Semenyo. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think we'll get him. I just don't think he'll come. Or that I think Bournemouth won't sell him. But we need to get someone who can just get a goal. Just is used to this. Isn't impressed by Premier League crowds, by Premier League kickabouts, all that stuff. I doubt that, but if that's true, then that's a big problem. To put it bluntly, if that's true, that's a huge problem even. Experience is gotten with time. Try him out there. No, but listen. Foden, when Foden was 21, he wasn't playing in midfield. You can get experience playing on the wing. You can get experience playing as fullback and inverting. That is what O'Reilly does. He's playing as a fullback, he's inverting. He's getting experience and he's out on the wide areas where he can't do as much harm. That's a good thing. He's playing so good there. Don't take him out of that habitat. Don't gamble with O'Reilly. Let O'Reilly do his thing. Let him learn his trade. Put some experienced player that we don't right now have, unfortunately, in that midfield instead. I know we don't have that played right now. Don't have that played right now. But we should. That's what I'm saying. We have to buy the next big winger. Who do you think it is? I don't see our next big winger immediately. Maybe you go buy Gareth Bowen for 2 or 3 years. Wait for the next big winger to come on. Maybe you do that. Buy a big, tall, strong, muscular, okay. So who plays the 8 for now? Ignore Rosa. Ignore her. Who plays the 8? Foden. Gonzalez, 6. Foden, 8. Marmoush, 10. Or Cherki, 10. Do what you like. Tijani. But not Silva. Not Silva. Especially not when he's dropping sinkers like this. You can even play Nunez there. You can play out Nuri there. I know he's got a bit more experience. You can maybe play him there. But you've got players so you can play it there. Stones. But not Silva. Not Silva. We've been going for an hour now. I think it's about time we get into the blade ratings. Donnarumma. Talked about Donnarumma. I'll give him a nice 7 out of 10. I don't think that I don't think that Donnarumma has been poor today. 7 out of 10. He did what he could. Couldn't do much because the situations he was put in were just unreasonable, but he did what he could. 7 out of 10 for Donnarumma. O'Reilly was a bit silent today. I know he got an assist, but he was very silent today. I'll give him a 6.5. Didn't see him enough when defending. Sometimes I saw him struggling. Come back. I saw him struggling to invert sometimes as well, by the way. So 6.5 for O'Reilly. Josko Gvardiol. Really good game. 8.5 game. Incredibly stupid penalty foul. Immediately pumping him down from an 8.5 to a 7 there. Diaz. 6. Even 5. A 5 out of 10. But it's not his fault. It's a 5 out of 10 performance. But it's not his fault that we have left him so exposed. In the area where we know he will be exposed. between the lines, he's dead. He's dead. When you put him between the 16 yards box and the halfway line, dead. We know that. He's dead. And we let it happen all the time. He played poorly, but it's not his fault. Not entirely his fault. Some things are still his fault. Nunez, 1 out of 10. I don't give a fuck about his assist. 1 out of 10. Terrible game. The goals we have conceded. They're ridiculous. Ridiculous goals to concede. Tijani. I'll grade him twice. The first half was a 3.5 out of 5. The second half was a 2.5 out of 5. A game of 2 halves. Good first half, poor second half. Needs to be better. Gonzalez, I think played very well. I think he was the only bright thing in our midfield. Once again, just tried to clean up after the other two, but you could tell he was getting a bit tired at the end there. I'll give him a 7.5. Silva, a 1 out of 10. He was useless. Utterly useless. 1 out of 10. Jeremy Doku gets overhated right now. He played okay. Made a few good chances. Didn't contribute too much near the end. Had a few silent moments, a few weird mistakes, but overall, he defended, came back, he created decently, he provided wit. 7 out of 10. Don't slander him, because he's the easy scapegoat. I love to slander Doku. Today is not a Doku slander day. He played well. Haaland. 0 out of 0. You might as well not have had him. I could give him a 7 out of 10 for how good a job he did at getting everyone off the pitch. He was taking out centre back after centre back after centre back, but we made nothing of it. You know what? I'll give Haaland a 7 out of 10. He ran those players off Leeds out of our midfield. He gave us so much space and we didn't utilize him. 7 out of 10 for Haaland. Because these silent parts of football aren't acknowledged enough, I think. Or criticized when they're lacking. And Philip Walter Foden. Listen, I actually think Phil Foden played pretty poorly. Not gonna lie. But who cares? 2 goals. Oh, he played who cares? 2 goals. Go argue with the goals. He scored some 2 very good goals, by the way. Not Stappins, not the 2 very good goals. So Walter Foden played a little poorly. I think he played a 6 out of 10 game. But those 2 goals and the importance of those 2 goals, and the quality of those 2 goals as well, move Foden's game from a 6 out of 10 to an 8.5 for me. 8.5 out of 10 for Foden. He's man of the match of a tragic game. And then Doku, Marmoush, Haaland front line. Sure, you can do that, or Sherky, or something like that. Getting carried by Foden in Big 25 against Leeds after resting everyone in midweek. Proper sad. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going live. See ya. Big up to Adam. I'll redirect to you in a moment. I told him I'll redirect to him earlier, so I'll redirect to his stream in a bit. Absolute trash today. Worst game of the season, in my opinion. I agree. I still don't know how he won. I can't speak right now, but bro, that was sad. Pep Guardiola. You are allowed 5 substitutions. Use them. Because if you don't, every single game. And listen, if I can give advice right now to Pep, because obviously I'm massive and everyone watches me. If I could give advice right now to Pep, the one thing I'd tell him is, You have to stop being so arrogant. You have to learn to use the 5 substitutions. You have to learn how to make use of modern football tactics, how to adapt to modern football rules. You have to learn this. You have to change. If you don't, you'll get left behind the way Jose Mourinho and the way Arsene Wenger were left behind. Because there will come along a coach of quality of yours. You and your tactics took Jose Mourinho out of football. Jose Mourinho and his tactics took Arsene Wenger out of football. Arsene Wenger and his tactics took managers before him out of football. When people revolutionized football. Remember, all that physicality stuff, pace and power, Arsene Wenger who revolutionized that. Jose Mourinho, the way we defend in modern football, he would revolutionize that. Pep Guardiola, the way we pass, structure, organize, attack, press, that's what he revolutionized. And you don't adapt to the way football changes. You get left behind. Pep Guardiola, you are not above that. Even if you are the best manager of all time. I'm not gonna have this argument about Fergie or Pep, but fuck that argument. It doesn't matter. Even if you are the best manager of all time, you're not above the food chain. You're just the top of it. And as long as you're part of the food chain, you can be dragged down. Pep, football is changing. You, too slowly. Fix the fuck up. Just bluntly, fix the fuck up. Worst game of the season? I agree. This felt like a loss. Even though we won, it felt like a loss. This was depressing too. I wish I could unwatch that again. I wish I could just know the scoreline and unwatch that again. I think it's done. I think I'm traumatized now. I think you guys might be traumatized too. So, I'll leave it there. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'll redirect now, so stick in here, Alfred, people. And I'll send you guys over to Adam's channel. I told Adam I'd redirect to him earlier, before I went live. So I'll fulfill my promise. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.